But I mean, there was the story he told me about. I mean, you have some idea of what a god-awful hell World War I was. There was the time they're going to attack. They're going to, go out of the trenches over the top. The night before, he was in an engineering battalion. They had to go out into no man's land and cut the wire. So, he's inching along on his back through 2 feet of mud with the wire clipper clipping the wire. And every once in a while, a star shell would go off above them, which would light up the whole area. So then he said, you would just lie still and pray the Germans thought you were one of the dead corpses that had been caught on the wire. Of course, you had to crawl under them too, but he had never seen a telephone switchboard, but he figured this sounds like a good gig. So he stepped forward and volunteered. So they wanted an American operator for the occupation troops. So he has a sign on the switchboard. He has no idea what he's supposed to do with it. But the German girl who were operating the others hold him and probably faked from it until he learned it. Okay. About a year or so later, he told me he was in some trouble. So he had a hop of freight and he went to get out of town. So his father brought him down and gave him a few bucks to go off with to the freight yards. He never said what the trouble was. I assume he got a girl pregnant or something. So I probably have an older sibling somewhere who's probably 110 by now. But anyway, so he went to Philadelphia. And he lived there about a year. But he made his money. He made money by dealing free card montes for the shell game. Walnut shells and the feed, he'll throw out 3 cards and the guy has to guess which is whatever card he picked. Well, if you deal it right, that card isn't in the free. And the same with the walnut shell. You do it in such a way the pea drops each, so none of the shells have the pea on it. So whichever one they pick is not going to be the right. And he also hustled pool. He would sometimes pretend to be the shill, the dumb guy coming around. And so he would win the first game and then quit. He said he almost got beat up a couple of times. The day after Armistice Day, he was sent with a message back through an area that he was going there. Those trenches had been abandoned because they moved forward. But he was walking along, and this was the French had had it for this sector for 4 years. He said you could not walk a foot without kicking a dead human bone. And he said he was all alone in this area, and all the dead lying there. And he said it was really. So then they went in. At that point, Pershing didn't trust the Germans that they had really surrendered and wanted to push right into Germany as quickly as possible. So then they were going through that first. So he finally got the town they were supposed to be occupying in occupied Germany. So they gave them each a billet to go to some house and say that they would have to take care of an American soldier there. So he went to the house they sent him to, and the German Hausfrau drove him off with a broom. He said he went and wandered around the town trying to find some else place. So finally he decided, well, I got a rifle. I'm going back there and tell her she has to take me. So he went back there, and he collapses on her doorstep. He probably had flu because he'd had like dysentery for 2 weeks from the time they left the trenches until they got there. So he collapses on her doorstep. So she drags him inside, and he's like half conscious for 2 or 3 weeks, and she nurses him back to health.